How should suspended accounts be managed to balance security, compliance, and future reactivation needs? Good question. If you've got an account in Google Workspace and you're no longer using it, but you might need to use it again in the future, 2 steps that are really important to take, and a third step that it's a maybe if you want to lock it down a little bit extra. The first step obviously is for this employee or contractor or whoever it is who's no longer using the account is to change their password. Changing the password means that if they are trying to get back into the account, they've got no way of getting back in. Now, under their user profile, you may also wish to do things like switch off their 2-factor authentication and re-enable it again to a new device, or you might choose to switch the authentication codes, the backup codes that exist in their account, to a new set of codes. These are extra steps that you don't necessarily have to do, but it's always a good idea to do that. Of course, you want to make sure that the account is suspended. Once you've got the account suspended, just double check that it arrives in the suspended status. You go into the admin panel, you hit suspend on the user, and then once the user is suspended, refresh the admin panel and just double check that their status is suspended, because every now and again an operation will fail, meaning that you click a button in the admin panel and nothing actually happens in the background. Very rare, but it does happen, particularly with user operations. So make sure that that's actually been executed. Now, the third one, you want to be extra. If this is a completely, high profile person and you want to be a little bit extra about it, you could disable some services for that user. So if you wanted to, you could say disable the ability to log into Gmail by setting up a new organizational unit and dropping into the organizational unit. To be honest, once you've disabled the account, you've changed the password, you've made sure that there's no active logins under the account by clicking the little button in the admin panel that lets you sign them out of all of their devices. There's really not much they're going to get into. But maybe internally you're worried about other employees reactivating their account, someone who's got the permission to change passwords, helping them get back in. Maybe social engineering might mean that they get access to your help desk and your help desk try and reactivate or switch back on the account through a password reset. If you wanted to, you could always move that user into a different organizational unit and start restricting services from them. Of course, if the account is done and there's no use for that account anymore, you might choose to rename the account to something else. So that person's name -archive. And so they can't even log into the account if they don't know what the account name is if it's been renamed. But even better yet still, if you want to retain the data but blow away the account and completely get rid of it, then you can migrate it to an archive account. And we recommend migrating accounts to archive accounts where an employee is ready to be offboarded. You want to keep their data, but you obviously don't want to keep paying for a license. Google do provide an archive license, and that archive license lets you pay a small amount of money and still have users stay in like a dormant type state of being suspended but not being completely deleted. But if you use our archiving method, then you don't need to bother about that. So what we recommend is you set up one account, you call it the archive account for your business, and then each time a user is offboarded, after you've suspended their account, changed their password, and logged them out of all the apps that they're signed into, well, then you can migrate their data into your dedicated archive account. And in that dedicated archive account is where you keep a copy of the data just in case you need to access it in the future. Okay, so let me show you what that actually looks like in the admin panel, because this is a good one to demo. And if I go to my directory here, I'll go to users, and let's say I always pick on ISA. If I decide that I want to delete ISA's account, it's going to ask me, hey, do you want to transfer data? Do you want to save the documents, calendar, other things like that? Yes, absolutely. We want to save as much of that information as possible. Super, super important. Then once we have suspended the user, let's see if we can open up the user's profile. Once we have suspended the user, we want to go and look for the security options so we can sign them out. We can choose to view their backup verification codes and refresh their backup verification codes if we want to just be extra sure by ensuring there's no way they can get into their account. Even if you disassociate or wipe their 2-factor authentication device, they can still use backup codes to get into their account as long as they know the password for it. So good idea to refresh those backup codes just in case there's some way they get a new password, they still won't have a 2-factor device set up on their account. Next is, here we go, sign in cookies. You can click a button here and actually sign them out of any device that has their account signed in. And once you click this button, it's effectively going to force them out everywhere they've clicked remember me. desktop computer, mobile device, any third-party apps that's like synchronizing and checking in with their Google profile, like the Canva account there, it's going to make all those logins expire, and they will no longer be able to access resources that account gave them access to. Super important if you've got some single sign-on applications that allow you to use your Google account to log in. You want to make sure they're logged out of absolutely everything. It invalidates all of the sessions, and it means that they're logged out on all of their devices.
If you need more help with what we've covered in this video, itGenius provides support services to businesses all over the world with problems just like this. Click the link below to get started.